Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the world around you fade. Together, we will journey to a realm where myths come alive and mysteries whisper their secrets. This is your moment to pause, to wonder, and to escape. The fate of Macha, the goddess's curse on Ulster. A stranger in the house of cruelty. Long ago, in the land of Ulster, there was a simple man named Cú Chulainn. He was a widower, living alone in his quiet home, when one evening, a mysterious woman appeared at his door. She was beautiful, with golden hair that flowed like the summer wheat and eyes as deep as the endless sky. She did not speak her name, nor where she had come from, but Cú Chulainn felt no fear. There was something otherworldly about her, something powerful yet warm. She entered his house, and from that moment they lived together as husband and wife. Under her care, Cú Chulainn's house flourished. His cattle grew fatter, his land richer, and his heart fuller than ever before. But there was one rule. He must never speak of her to anyone. For Macha was no ordinary woman. She was a goddess in mortal form. The king's foolish boast. One day, King Conor MacNessa, ruler of Ulster, held a great feast in his hall. There was music, laughter, and endless cups of mead, and the warriors boasted of their strength and power. Cú Chulainn, who had joined the celebration, listened to the boasting and laughed to himself. The warriors thought themselves mighty, but they had never seen the true swiftness of his wife. With the foolishness of a man who had drunk too much, he spoke without thinking. "My wife is faster than any horse in Ulster," he declared. The hall fell silent. Then came a roar of laughter and outrage. The king himself stood, his pride wounded. "If this is true, then she must prove it, or you will pay the price of such an insult." The goddess betrayed. Messengers were sent, and Macha was dragged from her home, taken against her will to the king's hall. When she arrived, she stood tall, her golden hair flowing, but there was fury in her gaze. She turned to her husband, her voice calm yet cold. "You have betrayed me." Then she turned to the king. "I am with child. Spare me this race until my time is done," she said. But Conor MacNessa was a cruel king. He laughed, waving away her plea. "You boast of speed, goddess, or not. You will run, or your husband dies." And so, before the eyes of Ulster's warriors, Macha ran. A race against injustice. The chariots thundered beside her, the fastest horses in Ulster straining their muscles, hooves pounding against the earth. But Macha was faster. Even with her heavy belly, even with pain racking her body, she ran like the wind, leaving the horses far behind. She crossed the finish first, but there was no joy in her victory. The moment she stopped, she collapsed to her knees, crying out as the pain of childbirth overcame her. In that moment, as she lay gasping upon the ground, she knew the truth of men's hearts. Selfish, cruel, and unworthy of mercy. Her children were born, twins, a son and a daughter, but Macha had no love left for Ulster. The goddess's curse. She turned her gaze to the king, and her voice echoed through the hall like thunder. You have shown me no pity, so I shall show none to you. Her golden hair lifted as her divine power surged, her voice ringing through the air, sealing Ulster's fate. From this day forward, when your greatest need comes, the men of Ulster shall suffer as I have suffered. They shall feel the pains of childbirth upon them, struck down in their moment of battle, and they shall be helpless as I was helpless before you. Then she vanished, gone as suddenly as she had come. The curse fulfilled. The men of Ulster fall. For years, the warriors of Ulster laughed at the curse. They felt invincible, strong in their youth and arrogance. But gods do not make empty threats. Years later, when Queen Meb of Connacht led her army against Ulster in the great Cattle Raid of Cooley, the men of Ulster fell, stricken by Macha's curse. In the hour of battle, they clutched their stomachs, their muscles twisting in agony, just as she had suffered on that fateful day. They were left helpless, groaning on the ground, unable to lift a sword. The kingdom paid the price for their cruelty. Only one man, the young hero, Cú Chulainn, was untouched by the curse, for he had not yet been born when Macha spoke her doom, and so he stood alone against an army. Ulster, once mighty, lay in ruin. The lesson of Macha's wrath. The story of Macha is a warning, a lesson burned into the memory of warriors and kings. It speaks of pride and cruelty, of men who mock and betray, and of the gods who remember every wrong. It teaches that strength is not measured by power alone, but by mercy, respect, and honour. For when the time of reckoning comes, even the strongest warriors can be brought to their knees. And when the gods curse, their words do not fade. They wait, patient as the stars, until the moment comes to strike. So remember the fate of Ulster. Remember the wrath of Macha. And if you ever hear the wind whisper through the hills, carrying the echoes of a goddess's laughter, know that the gods are watching, and they do not forget. As the whispers of myth fade into the stillness, carry their magic with you into the world. Until we meet again, may your spirit wander, and may your days be filled with wonder. Thank you for listening to Whispering Myths. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Whispering Myths. That way, you won't miss out on any of the magical tales that I share. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again, may the whispers of myths guide your dreams.